What's up, guys? Justin Brock here. Today I'm going over one of the 5 temptations of a CEO in the Patrick Lencioni book. This one here is choosing certainty over clarity. And as I was researching this and reading multiple perspectives, we actually got multiple meanings to this, and they kind of conflict with one another. But the main meaning that Patrick Lencioni was talking about is letting great be the enemy of good. He's letting certainty hold me up from acting on a little bit of clarity. So what I want to talk about is how you can get as much data as possible, but not wait too long to make a decision. See, a good leader, a good CEO, someone who's actually in charge and making decisions has to decide. And sometimes the data isn't clear. Sometimes I cannot be certain, but I still have to act. So I'm going to surround myself with people who are data-driven deciders or data-driven thinkers. I need people who are going to get as much information as possible. While Patrick Lencioni is talking about deciding, he isn't saying never go after the pursuit of or never pursue the quality information that helps me make a decision. So the next thing I would look at is create processes to aggregate the relevant information or relevant data. So if I'm making a decision about where to spend new advertising dollars, I would like to know something about what I'm about to pursue rather than just making a completely blind decision. But if I don't have 100% certainty, that decision is what's called a business decision, because business decisions are rarely 100% obvious. As a matter of fact, right before I started filming this, Steven came in here talking about where are we going to put our new national sales director's office. And there are multiple options. And at some point it's just decide, because is it really all that relevant? That's a small decision, but sometimes you're taking a decision like, hey, we have $240,000 we want to spend on marketing. Do we do it on broadcast television? Do we do it on Facebook? Do we mix it up with direct mail, Facebook, and broadcast television? Do we go OTT? Sometimes the data seems like OTT would be a great solution, and then we find out that it didn't perform as well as we thought it would. We often are just making decisions, and we have to have the guts to do that. That's what creates a good CEO. It's also imperative that they are humble enough to take the opinions of others on and to make decisions based on the collective relevant information. Lastly, don't let great be the enemy of good. If I'm pursuing great but I have good, what is the distance between having a good solution, good information to act on? What's the distance between that and waiting on that great information? Just a quick story relating to this. We have met several people in our industry that have worked with us that have tons of information in their head, but they have an inability to decide and be consistent with that decision. Because when you really decide, when you really choose to do something and act on information, you have to consistently follow through with that until there is enough data that is actually there to change course, because the worst course of action is no course of action. So we've had people that we've brought in and we've had them sitting there knowing everything they could possibly know about our business. They know so much. They just relish in retaining information and learning and learning and learning, and yet they have very little, if not nothing, to show for it, because they have an inability to act and to bet and to gamble on the information that they have. And then the people that come in so often that know so much less than them, that are willing to gamble over and over and over again, that have so much more than them. The best CEOs will take enough information and act. Enough information and act. As I've said before, learn a little, act a lot. Learn a little, act a lot. Put that information to use. Go out there and do stuff. Hey, the next one we're going to talk about is another one of the 5 temptations of the CEO that I love. But this one here is important. Choosing certainty over clarity. Make sure that you are choosing to act, not to relish in the data forever.